Whoa, I did that backwards. Hello, gentlemen. We did face first instead. All right. Let's get into it, gentlemen. You might notice the lighting has changed. You know what I finally did? What I finally decided to do that I should have done a long time ago? Opened the gosh darn window. So I got my windows open a little bit, mainly the one that's right over there, which is creating a lot of light, and then Jank setup right next to me. You'll notice this doohickey. Got a C stand with a light on it. My little LED light pointed into a Philflex that is bouncing light back onto my face. So now I'm somewhat evenly lit. All right, we're not going to fight Rolana anymore. There is another way into Shadow Altus. Oh, how do I... Yes, that button. Okay. There's another way in. I don't want to go that way. I want to kill Plassey. Alright. Did I? Oh, wow. I never went towards this way. I killed Godskin Duo, and then I kind of just dipped from Faroum. Alright, I think I want to finish up Faroum. Yeah. We're going to finish up Faroum. Call it a day there. Now, do I remember how to get here? Alright. I just had one of my friends reach out to me, and he's building a, let's go the easy way. I don't want to die. Hold on. I gotta lock in, gentlemen. I gotta lock in. I don't want to die to fall damage again, for goodness sakes. I do not want to fall off the edge. I don't want to do that. No siree. Sorry, gentlemen. I'll explain to you my excitement. All right. He reached out to me and he's like, I'm building an Elvish language and figured you'd be interested. I'm like, of course I'd be interested. Absolutely. Heck to the yeah, brother. I am interested. So, I'm very excited to see his documentation, what he's got so far. Because I'm very excited to see what he's got, what he's built. Now, okay, brother, you are my problem. You're the thing. We're not doing. All right, gentlemen, gotta lock in again. Holy crap, gotta lock in. Holy frick, dude! Are you kidding me? One death. You want to know what it was too, gentlemen? Falling. Granted, I was trying to escape an enemy that probably would have killed me if I didn't fall. Gentlemen. Okay. Gentlemen, we're doing bird skip. Alright. Oh. Is that it? That doesn't feel right. That doesn't feel right. Well, we're already at 2 deaths to just falling. We're not going to do bird skip because I don't know it. And I don't want to keep dying trying. So we're just going to... We're just going to run it. Oh, crap. Yeah, number one thing don't do. Don't get hit. Alright, don't get hit. I can see his shadow. And it's frightening. Okay. I thought I locked onto him. Okay. I just did not want to risk it for the biscuit, you know what I'm saying? Okay, goodbye, good sir. Please leave me alone. Alright. Can't even upgrade anything, man. Alright, well, this is to other guy. I want to kill Plassie right now. So I think I could do Plassie without dying. I don't think I could. I can't do Beastman of Malekith without dying. That's a little. Okay. Plassie's just right over here. He's pretty easy to get to. Just gotta not fall in the wrong direction, you know what I'm saying, homie? That's all we gotta do. Alright. What was I last talking about? A lot happened. Language, man. Elvish language. It's a Glut native, which is really cool. Basically, that means that the language built, like, is... Okay, the best way to describe it is, English. English is a individual, oh, I forgot the term. It starts with an I, though. I remember that much. There's a term that starts with I. And that's English. So English is that, and what that means is that the words, like the amount of morphemes that you have in a given word, are about like an average amount. A Glut native is slightly above average. What? That still hit me? That's crazy. That's crazy. How is this hitting me? Alright, brother. Plassie. Alright, brother. This is not going well for me. Oh. Alright, brother. Alright, brother. Oh, I'm trying. Oh my gosh, I have gotten hit by every single piece of lightning. And I couldn't dodge there. This is going so poorly. We're gonna die. I've used up every single one of my health. I don't have a heal left, and I'm gonna... I'm trying. Alright. What? Alright, gentlemen, this is not going well for us at all. This is lasers. Oh, frick. Frick, gentlemen. This is not good. This is not good for us. What? What am I even getting hit by? Brother. That went so exuberantly poorly. I can't see anything. Where am I? I'm up here. That was so unfortunate. We're at 3 trees. Where's the lever? There it is. That went so poorly. I used up all of my flasks at the beginning because I got hit by every single piece of lightning. And it did like 90% of my health. That was annoying. I'm surprised I almost made it to the end, and I thought I could make it to the end, but then I got hit by something. Again, the lightning just keeps getting me. I don't know what I keep getting hit by. Whatever it is, it's really annoying. Oh, come on, man. But I guess if I had more flasks, I only have 10. I could have 11 if I swapped one over. I don't know why I haven't done that yet. And I could have plus 12, but I don't know what sacred tears I haven't gotten yet. Oh. Are you kidding me? Dodge, dodge. Alright, brother. Alright, brother. This is again going as poorly as it did the last time. Just getting hit by absolutely everything. Ooh. Don't know where your fire is. There's my bleed rock. Are you kidding me? What are you even doing? Okay, so that's what I kept getting hit by, was that lasting lightning effect. Alright, brother. Alright, brother. This is death. I'm not dead. I am pressing the dodge button. Oh my gosh, dude. Can I stop getting hit by this stuff? Oh my gosh, just kill me again, dude. This is just going so poorly. Didn't even see him. I was expecting him to be behind me. Not as in the direction that I'm facing behind me, behind my camera, like behind my character. Wow, this is going ridiculously poorly. I've never struggled this much on Plasty before, but apparently it's just a struggle bus. I'm getting hit by every single attack, so I'm going to try Malekith, who I equally have an hard time with. That's 4 deaths already. Oh, you know what I should do? I don't need a blue flask. I don't use it. So I could use an extra heal. Do have a Blessing America. I don't think it's useful. I think I'd die before I get the chance to use it. Alright. Well, that's lovely. I pressed the dodge button. I know that move. I know it's a dodge, then you dodge again. I pressed it on the second time, but I guess it didn't like it. I hate this fight. I'm just so bad at it. I don't know why. I get hit by everything. This was meant to be not this bad to start. And I'm just sucking really bad today. Who knows? I might actually have a better time with R'Ellana than I am with these bosses, because I'm just struggling. Awesome. Okay, wow. If you go all the way to the left, you cannot, in fact, enter. Did not know that. Gotta love wasting a heal right there. Boom. 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 Alright. Nope. Alright, I thought I jumped there. I guess I didn't. Oh my gosh, I keep getting... This is... Yep. Alright. I tried. I got stuck on Malekith. Oh, that's the roar. Oh! Alright, am I on 5 or am I on 6 now? I lost count. I think I'm on 6. I hate this boss fight so much. People make them look so easy. I just get hit by everything. I cannot seem to get the timings down. This is our last try, because I need to build 7 more trees. I know it's 6. It's going to be 7. Unless I get lucky. At this point, it feels like I just need to get lucky. Can't drink the physic, because this guy's going to blast me if I do. Gotta love the fact that there's just a DTS right there. So you start off... Oh. Okay. I love the amount of times I jump. I knew that was coming. The amount of times I've jumped and pressed the L button and I just jump. I don't even attack, I just jump. For no reason. I am pressing the attack button. It just doesn't wanna. Well, gentlemen, we're 30 minutes in and struggling hard. I haven't killed a single thing. I have died 7 times, though. So I guess we're swapping over to Minecraft because we have to build 7 trees now. That's so frustrating. Every single attack. And I feel like I'm still doing, like, no damage. Which is kind of even more frustrating. I'm just doing no damage at all. Man, all that work and I gained absolutely nothing for it. 30 minutes just feels like it just went down the drain. Alright. How do I do this again? That. Usually I do that as long as I don't fall. She goes on that side. That goes on that side. That goes to that side. Gentlemen, I don't think I have enough resources for 7 trees. Like, legitimately. I don't think I have enough leaves. What is there? What? I don't even think there's anything in the game that I can progress to get more runes to level up dexterity more so I have a little bit more of an attacking stat. I just kind of have to suffer. I have to kill something. Is there an easy boss that I haven't killed yet? No. I mean, we have Divine Dancing Beast. We could technically go try and kill. Because we could go into Bellarat. But that's not exactly an easy boss. Unfortunately. It's quite the opposite, actually. Anything in the DLC is just naturally going to be a problem. Because the DLC is hard. Picking up runes isn't really going to do anything for us. We're so high level that we need to kill things if we want. If we want anything. We're just kind of down in that slump, you know what I'm saying? It was just not a good Elden Ring day, I guess. As I said, the first thing I want, like, when I get paid again, which I think next week, I don't remember. I'm getting myself a new controller. I might do it now, if I'm being honest. I might cave sooner. Because I kind of want that controller. Because I do feel like maybe, I don't know, maybe it's just copium. Maybe I'm just coping. I'm just blaming the controller for how bad I am. It sucks when you do something and you think you're learning that thing and you're like, oh, I'm finally getting it. And then you do it again the next day and you're just as bad as you were the day before, as if you learned nothing. That's what I feel like right now. I felt like the last stream, we were kind of learning something. We died mostly to fall damage. Actually, primarily to fall damage. And then we were struggling on Rolana, but we were getting closer. Who knows? Maybe it is time we swap away from the bleed build. We could try a cold build. That could be good. Cold attuned dudes. Because one thought, I don't know if this works, is to do get Eleonora's pole blade. I gotta figure out how to frick do that. If it's still possible, it might not be. I might have locked myself out of that. But get that. Right. And then that way I could do cold attune and still have a little bit of bleed. So it's like we get the cold proc. And then we also get the bleed, the natural bleed. I feel like that could be something. I feel like that could be cool. But I don't know how useful it would be. I feel like we're getting to the point in the game where that's not going to be too helpful. We need to start swapping over to just damage. Honestly, and get away from status. That's the thing with multi-hit builds. They're really good at building up status, but this bleed build is just not popping off. Unfortunately, it's just not doing well for us. I don't think I enjoy the jump build that I've got going on. I had a lot better time with my Crouch R1 demon. That guy was having a blast. Colossal weapon, Crouch R1s. Holy, that's something right there. Bloodfiend's arm. Though I thought Bloodfiend's arm had blood, like, natural bleed on it. It doesn't, which is insane. Because my whole build idea was based off of that. And then it just straight up doesn't have... Oh, did I? Do I still have this on? I do. And it's kind of crazy. Kind of absolutely insane. But oh well. What can you do, man? Sigh, man. Yeah, that's fine. Actually, I don't. We're getting there. Which one did I just build? Frick, dude, I keep forgetting which one I've just built. I think it was that one. This one right here. Ah, that means it looks good. Hey, at least the trees look good. That's all I'm saying. The trees look good, which is really good. That's the most important part, right? Is that the trees look good? I'm gonna put a small one right here. I think that'll do us good. Just have like literally like a tiny little guy, right on the side of the road. Got the tag on it, just grown. I think that could be kind of fun. Get some overhead action going for the road. Get that nice and pretty like. All right, gentlemen, I got the topic right now. I hope none of my classmates are stream enjoyers, right? I hope none of them watch Twitch. Okay? They're about to get some words right now, because this is frustrating me, guys. Alright? So, I'm in a film program, right? With a bunch of other film students. Cool. It's not really the important part. I guess, well, it matters, because next semester is thesis season, right? So we're all going to be making our thesis film, right? This is basically what all of our education has boiled down to, is this film to a degree. Not exactly. You really shouldn't treat it like this is the end all be all, right? I have come to a realization that your thesis film is kind of like a PhD. The best kind of PhD is the best kind of dissertation, more accurately, according to my dad and people around him who have told him this, is a done dissertation. That's the best kind. So the same logic should be applied to other projects similar to dissertations, one of which, like a thesis film. So the best kind of thesis film is a done thesis film, or a finished thesis film. The best kind of film is a finished film. You know what I mean? Right. Some of these people are going crazy, right? Because they all want their film to be the one, right? They want it to go through the festivals. They want to wow the crowd, you know? They got the shiny ones. They want to do ambitious projects that no one would ever believe in them. Kind of projects. That's what they all want to do. Because of that kind of motivation to have the best, I attend Liberty, right? They got some rules. They got some rules on what we are and aren't allowed to put in our films. And let me tell you, it's not much. There's not much that we're not allowed to do. In fact, there are 3 key things that we have explicitly been told, don't do these things. Don't put these things in your film. Alright? Those 3 things are cigarettes or smoking of any kind, alcohol, bottle, anything like that. You're allowed to be in a bar, I think. You're just not really allowed to show the alcohol, which is kind of funny. But, like, some restaurants have a bar. So, like, let's say you're filming in a Chili's. Like, it has a bar in the background. That's fine. As long as everything is out of focus. But, like, no logos or anything like that. No bottles that would be perceived as beer bottles. Blah, blah, blah. No alcohol whatsoever. And then, of course, the most logical one. No nudity, sex scenes. Obviously, there ain't no way. This isn't a French film school, alright? These people are obsessed, and I mean obsessed, with putting cigarettes in their films, and I don't know why. And it's kind of this logic of just like, we're gonna stick it to the man, you know what I mean? Liberty sucks. They're not allowing us to put cigarettes in our film. And I'm just sat here like, alright, gentlemen, we're all Christians here, right? Alright, at least I'd like to believe that we are, right? All of us that attend this school are Christian, I'd hope. Maybe not. Maybe you're not. That's fine. But to a degree, we are. There's a certain level of just being obedient that I think this class is just missing, because they want to be the ones. They want to be the world changers. They want to make the films that get you to get the feels, to move. I don't know. They want their film to be the film. They want it to be the film. They want to be the next Christopher Nolan. That's what their eyes are set on. And that's why they want to put a cigarette in their film. And then when Liberty already had said, hey, don't do that. We as a school don't want to be associated with these things because that's where our moral value scale lies. We're the ones giving you this education here. You're paying us, but we're giving you this education. We don't want our name to be tied to these things, right? That's a pretty simple concept to understand, but yet for some reason they still want to put cigarettes and or have alcoholism and stuff. Now, I can understand with some of them. Like, for example, you want to put alcohol in yours because your one of your characters has an alcoholic father. Maybe it's based off of your life, right? You had an alcoholic father. And so your thesis film is your way of not necessarily telling the world, but just your way of showing your childhood or whatever. You want it to mean something. You want to be against alcoholism because it ruined your family growing up. You know what I mean? Your dad was an alcoholic, so it became a problem, blah, 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 blah. That's not a bad reason to have it in there. And to be perfectly honest, I couldn't care less about the cigarettes or the alcohol. Like, I don't care if I were the school, I wouldn't care, but I'm not the school. I'm the one who's getting the education from the school, which means I do what the school says. And if they say, don't do that, I'm not going to do that because they said don't. And it's as simple as that. And it's just like, and this is where the Christian thing becomes apparent. It's a Christian thing to be obedient. All right? Does Scripture not tell us to listen to our principalities? All right? It does. It does tell us literally with that terminology, which is why I chose it. Listen to your principalities. Listen to the authorities. Do as they say. Be obedient. All right? Was it not disobedience that brought sin into the world in the first place? Was it not Eve disobeying the command of her husband who said, hey, God told me don't eat from that tree, so now I tell you not to eat from that tree. And she still ate from that tree. She still disobeyed, which brought sin into the world. Okay? And then going back to the principalities, this is something I've never thought about that I thought was mighty interesting. Right? God says, listen to your principalities, right? Listen to the government. Listen to whoever the frick is in charge of you, your boss, whatever it be. All right? I think God told us to do that because if we're not willing to listen to our boss at work, then why would we ever listen to him? Gentlemen, it's right there. It's right there. Think about that. He tells us to listen to the principalities, to do these things. He tells us to pay your taxes because if we're not willing to do those things, how would we be willing to listen to him? The Almighty, the authority above all authorities. If we're not even able to listen to small a authority, how are we supposed to listen to big A authority, which is God himself? So I'm telling you, when my classmates are like, I can't believe they're not allowing us to put cigarettes in their thing. I want my character to smoke. It's not important. It's not important to the story. You can just take it out there. You don't need to have it in there. It's not important. But they're just blatantly being disobedient. And I don't know why. It's baffling. Because it's like, is the Christian thing not to obey? Or is the Christian thing obedience? So why are you just blatantly disobeying the powers that be for what? And not to mention, is this really the hill you want to die on? Is a cigarette? It's not that important, my guy. It really isn't. It isn't important. You don't need it in your story. Your story will survive without it. I think these people just have way too much pizzazz. And you know what? They're going to do it. They're going to think, look at me. You thought you could control me. And now, gentlemen, here's where I get into the pickle. All right, here's my pickle. I haven't said any of this to them. I really, really want to. Don't get me wrong. But there's a certain point where, like, people are dumb, and talking to them isn't going to help because they're already dumb. I'm sorry. More accurately, they're a fool. And Proverbs mentions, hey, foolish people are idiots. So don't try to reason with them, because then you're going to stumble upon your own folly trying to reason with a fool. It says there's no point. But it also says, don't let a foolish man be foolish, lest he continues in his ways. I don't think that these people are going to listen to me if I were to say something. Do I care if I get shunned by them all and they're like, oh my gosh, you're standing with them, blah, 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 blah. Not really. There's also the verse that says, do not be surprised, brothers, that the world hates you. One of my favorite verses. Why? Because I get into positions like this, and then I got to tell myself that to psych myself up, because I'm like, don't be surprised when they don't like you afterwards, because you're telling them what's up. It's just, I don't get it, man. I just don't get it. I don't get, like, just, why? Why fight this fight? What's always fascinating to me, and I think this is actually a devil scheme kind of thought process, right? Everyone always looks at being a sheep in a pasture as a really bad thing, and we've just naturally been telling ourselves, and TV has been telling ourselves, that it's a really bad thing. You know what I mean? I'm going to use the Matrix as an example, right? You have the Matrix. Would you rather take the red pill or the blue pill? Now, I don't remember which pill did what. Doesn't matter. Whichever pill was the one to stay in the world, I'd take that pill. Why? I'm happy in this world. I'm joyful in this world. I'm enjoying life the way that it is. I'm provided for. I've got everything I need. I got a God that loves and cares for me. Why would I want to take the pill that takes me away from that? And I think that's the problem. People and who are sheep, and we're all sheep, don't want to be with the shepherd. They see the freedom in the jagged rocks and say, I want that too. And we've been telling everybody, living in the pasture isn't that great. You don't want to live in the green pasture where you're fed, you're given water, you're given shelter, you're given everything you could ever want in the pasture. But because they all want what's not in the pasture, and that, my friends, is the real problem, is wanting what you don't have. Which in of itself is greedy. Wanting what you don't have, that's envy and greed. Gluttony to a degree if you're just collecting endlessly. It really is kind of gluttony. Just endlessly consuming stuff that you don't have. I don't know. It's crazy to me that we are normalizing that as the norm. We are normalizing the pasture being a bad thing when it's a very good thing to be provided for and taken care of. So, I tell you, I would gladly stay in the pasture. Do I care that I'm not free? No. I got everything I need. There's a reason why we're asked to be servants or even slaves in Scripture. There's a reason Paul chose that language, mainly contextually. Back in that time, slaves and servants were very well taken care of. Did they have freedom? No, because they had a master. They had to listen to the master. But they had food, they had clothes, they had everything. They probably even had free time. Like, it wasn't like what we now have recontextualized slavery as, because of modern slavery, has recontextualized the word. So now we look at it very negatively, like, oh, we wouldn't want to be doing that again, and we shouldn't. That's the wrong kind. But which is why servant is a much better analogy nowadays. But it is that kind of thing. We're slaves to sin. But really, we should be a slave / servant to God. Because He will provide for us. He will take care of us. He said He would. Has He ever not done His promise? Has He ever done what He said He would do? Or Has he ever not done what he said he would do? No. He always does what he says. Because he's God and he's good. That's another thing. That's a whole nother thing, right? We, I think, also should start contextualizing with the context of God in mind. For example, you know, the oldest debate in the world when it comes to God. How can a good God let bad things happen to good people and good things happen to bad people? That huge argument. Everyone's always talking about it. We need to recontextualize what good is in the context of God, right? Because I feel like we have it contextualized that we have an idea of what good is. And so when we see something not done in that idea of good, we're like, that's bad. But we need to be looking at good in the context and then through the lens of God and what does he view as good? Because we're seeing small picture, he's seeing big picture. So yes, good things will happen to bad people, but maybe those good things are the stepping stones that bring them closer to Christ. Because eventually they see, look at how good my life is. Then something terrible happens to them. And then they look back at everything good that they had and realize, crap, I had it good. And they want that back. And the only way to get back to that is God. But God first had to give them all of that good so they would realize what they're missing when the storm came and they would realize what it was like on the other side. And then God recontextualizes that good for them. So now now their good is contextualized through God, and then they proclaim the gospel. Right? You look at Paul. Paul was a Pharisee among Pharisees. He knew scripture like the back of his hand, but he was using it to abuse other people and persecute Christians because of Jewish traditions and law, right? That no longer mattered because of Jesus. So he had it good. But then something really bad happened, which in this case was Jesus literally coming to him and saying, "Bro, stop." And he's like, "Who are you?" And he's like, "You know who I am, blind." And now something really bad happened to him. He got blinded, which ironically opened his eyes and recontextualized what he already knew about scripture and the law and traditions and recontextualized them through God. So now that good that he knew there has turned into a new good that he could now use to proclaim the gospel and preach the word. But first, he had to be a bad guy who had good things happening for him before something bad had to happen to him for him to become a good guy that now constantly has bad things happen to him because he had to face all the persecutions. And then that's why bad things happen to good people, because the devil doesn't want you to win. So if you're having a good time and you're Christian, the devil's not going to allow that to happen. If you're a bad person, the devil's going to make sure you're having a good time because he wants you to think that the bad times are the good times because that's how he's going to win. That's 3, right? Yeah, I built 3. I'm losing track. So, yeah. I've honestly never thought about that argument in that term, but like we just need to recontextualize what's good and then in the context of God. Because if God allows it, then it must be good, right? Why would God allow this? That's bad. Well, to you, it's bad. But we're looking at it through the lens of God. Bad things happening to that person must be good because God is allowing it, which means we're not seeing something that God is, which is crazy. But when you start contextualizing life like that, it makes life a whole lot easier because then you don't have to worry about things as much because, well, God is good. You just recontextualize everything through that, and all of the worries go away because even the bad things are good because God is working through them. God works through all things. Right? So, that's all I'm saying. So, all that to say, going back to the original tangent, my class, man. All right, somebody clip that. Send it to them. Send it to the group me. I've said my piece. I also didn't want to type all that out because that's a whole... I mean, granted, I went on a couple of tangents in there, but, you know, at the end of the day, gentlemen, people just need to stop being stupid. That's truthfully, that's what it boils down to. People need to stop being stupid. Alright? We need to trust God more. We need to have faithful trust. Faithful trust in God. I don't think we have faithful trust in God sometimes. What do I mean by faithful trust? I mean trusting without seeing, you know? I mean trusting without promise that it's going to be okay. Trusting God, even when all the signs point to failure, trusting that God will bring success. It's just what you got to do. I have been living by that kind of a philosophy of just absolute, unwavering, blind trust, and it has not yet led me astray. Well, let me correct myself. Language is important here. God has not yet led me astray. My belief in God, my faith in God has just helped. But God is still the one at the end of the day that's doing the things. The faith itself, the individual faith itself, isn't doing anything. But God is. But I have faith in God, which gives me the mental strength to push through and do the things that I can do because I have faith. But it's not necessarily that faith that is yielding results. It's God doing the results because of my faith. You know, like he's moved by it kind of vibes. If that makes sense. I have a really weird way of thinking about things, but it works for me. It works for the way my brain thinks. It works for the way I feel comfortable and safe. All right. So I think in a certain way that makes me feel better. And I think that's how it should be to a degree. Like, not what I'm saying is how it should be, but, um, how you think about things. There's a certain way. Each person's different, so they're going to think about things differently. Um, and that's okay. And I think sometimes we get into this thing. All right, we're about to get into another tangent topic. Toxic Christianity. Because there's this issue where toxic Christians are, and mainly people who are like theologians, um, who have studied theology extensively, start blanketing all of Christianity into categories that everyone can fit into. When in reality, we all think differently. We all have different mental states. So certain theologies are going to work for one person and not work for another person. And I think that's how theology should be viewed, is more as a tool than as absolute truth. Because genuinely, theology is still theory to a degree. A lot of theologies are theory. We don't know. There is so much about God that we don't know. And I think if we understood God in his entirety, our brains would explode. There is a reason God has not given us the whole picture easily. I do believe that the full picture of God is within Scripture. Like, everything you need to understand him is in Scripture. However, how you get to your conclusions is going to be different. Theology is like math. You got to show your work because you can get to the same answer in different ways. And so the problem with theology is it says there's only the problem with toxic Christians is they say there's only one way that you can understand God and understand Scripture. So however you're understanding it, you're wrong. And that's why it's toxic. Because they aren't trying to understand the fact that, or they're not willing to understand the fact that right now, if I believed the theology that you believe, I'd be having a mental breakdown. I would not be able to handle life and walk through it the way I do if I believed certain theologies rather than the opposite side. Because we don't know. And to be perfectly honest, it doesn't matter. There are theologies that do matter, however. Do not get confused that theology as a whole does not matter. That's not what I said. That's not what I said at all. There are absolute truths. I didn't say there aren't. Absolute truths that we do know are scriptures that completely are backed up throughout the Old and New Testament, right? It's stuff that we have known forever. We know about Jesus Christ. We know exactly his story. We know the way I like to clump it together when it comes to like primary, tertiary, secondary, all of those, like when it comes to theology. I think primary theologies, for me, are anything that deals with the character of God, Christ, or the Holy Spirit. So it's who they are, what they are, why they do the things they do, all that kind of stuff. That's absolute truth there. The Bible tells us plainly who God is. Now finer details on the why, basically, we don't know fully. That's why we have faith. We just got to trust, because we don't know why God does the thing he does. We can't begin to comprehend the plan, because God is playing freaking 4 million D chess, because he's got to make sure that events that happened 2,000 years ago still have an effect 10 billion years in the future, however long he plans to keep the Earth alive. Okay, that's a weird way to put that. However long however long until end times, right? He had to plan everything out to make sure that every single instance of something that happens is going to affect something else. It's like a giant game of or not game of dominoes, but just giant thing of dominoes. And God's the one who set them all up in place, so they'd all fall in the right place, so they'd all do what needs to be done, all for us, for our benefit, so we can live life and enjoy life and do the things we need to do. All of that work just for us. And the crazy thing about it is it's all that work for us, even though he knows we ain't even going to listen to him at the end of the day. We're going to rebel and be disobedient. Oh, how did we get back to that? It's almost like it's all related. Anyways, so toxic Christianity. That's what I was originally talking about. So yeah, they take things. So an example I like to give for this, right? I personally, I'm a Calvinist, right? 5 points. I'm like full 5 points. All of them make sense to me. Most people, that ain't true. They don't all make sense to me. And you look at Arminianism, same thing. They have their 5 points. There are people that believe all 5 points. Most people believe a few points of either. They're kind of in the middle of the debate, because that's what worked for them. And for me, I don't really jive with Arminianism. It just doesn't mentally work for me. And I think when I said I would have a mental breakdown, that's one of the theologies I was mainly thinking about that would do that. Why? Because it puts a heavy emphasis on the choices that you make, and one of the leaves, or one of the points, pun intended, one of the points is you can lose your salvation. And that, to me, that's a little bit too great of a consequence for things that I struggle with. And that freaks the crap out of me. If I could lose my salvation with every sin that I commit, that's scary. However, in Calvinism, you can't lose your salvation. Most people don't believe you can, even if you're in the middle. Most people tend to just generally believe that's not the case. So it's a good thing I don't believe that, because I would be losing my marbles. I believe once saved, always saved. And the way I deviate on that, because of course you're like, well, what about people who said they were saved, lived the life, and then all of a sudden we're like, yeah, I never believed it. Or, all of a sudden they're like, yeah, I don't believe it anymore. Somebody told me something. Well, I believe those people who way at the end of it all are like, actually, never mind, guys. This person told me this one thing, and now that's shattered my entire. They never believed in the first place. You may have thought they believed, they never did. In their hearts, they never accepted Christ. They never believed. They were never saved, because they never crossed that threshold. Because if you truly are saved, you're not going to have that moment. You aren't going to walk away. It's not going to happen if you truly are saved. If you aren't truly saved, if you don't truly believe in what you say you believe in, then yeah, you might walk away. And that's not losing your salvation. You never had it in the first place. And then vice versa, you have people who backslide, who do believe, and then they backslide, but then they come back. And they're like, well, I doubt is a normal part of it. It's just the doubt got the better of them. They doubted a little too hard, but in their heart, they always still believed that God was real, that Christ died for them. They always believed that, but they were just in a very heavy season of doubt that they didn't know if they could trust it. They got afraid, which is why God says, do not be afraid, like 167 times in the scriptures, or however, I think it's somewhere around that range, like 167, 165, somewhere around there. He says it a lot because of this, because he knows we're going to get scared, because he knows the devil is going to make us scared. So he's like, don't be scared. I have you. I got you. Yeah, brother. So yeah. So, and then toxic Christians basically throw everything I just said out the window and say, nope, it is this. This is correct answer. You're a Calvinist. You're wrong. You're just wrong. What you believe in is wrong. And it's like, whoa, 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 whoa. Hey now. That's not how that works. That's 6, right? That was number 5? No, that's number 5. We just built number 5. We have 2 more trees left. Right? We just built 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, we've built 5 trees. We have 2 more. I need to grab the other thing. I'm also going to get a drink because I've been yapping like crazy. So I'm going to grab a drink. And I'm going to build 1 more tree and then a little tree connected to that guy. I also am kind of tempted to just say screw it and stay playing Minecraft. Genuinely. Oh, I do, however, need more resources. So let me grab the resources first, because I gotta. Oh, I have enough of that stuff. I need this stuff. Alright. Cool. We're going to disconnect. I will be right back. Alright, gentlemen, I'm back. I have returned. Okay. Didn't get it on our keyboard. Okay, gentlemen. Because, okay. So when I was at school at Liberty, right, there were a lot of people on the dorm who, of course, it's Liberty University, so there's a ton of divinity students, right? But sometimes they get a little too passionate about their studies, right? And that's when they start shoving stuff down your throat, like, this is correct theology. And it's because they're young. And again, we go back to that primary ideology that I think our generation just in general has, which is they want to be the ones to change the world, right? I think to a degree almost with divinity students, like the extreme is like they literally want to be the people to learn and understand God on a level no other person has ever done. Like they want to discover something about him that we've never discovered before, or something like that. I don't even know. or they want to be the ones that are going to make an entire country believe in God because they're going to drop some nasty facts on him. Right? That's like the general, and that's not a bad thing, or at least the evangelizing one isn't bad. The trying to discover God in his entirety, again, if God wanted us to discover him in his entirety, I think we would have done it a long time ago. I think he's withholding that because, again, our brains would explode, gentlemen. We cannot keep all of that data in our heads. It's too much. But I think some people still might try to do it. And so that's why it becomes a problem. I know guys who like a lot of the debacles with this kind of toxic Christianity is people will look at churches like Elevation or Bethel, and this is like, oh, like with their music, and they're always like, oh, it's bad music, like we shouldn't be listening to it, we shouldn't be praising to it, all that kind of stuff. Like to the point where they think they're noble, right? They think they're the high and mighty because they're the ones that aren't listening to it. Look at me again, not being one of the sheep. Welcome in, Sony. They're like, oh, look at me. I'm not one of the sheep. Yet so they pull out their Bible and start reading because they're like, yeah, I'm not gonna follow with everyone singing along to Elevation in Bethel. I'm like, what? Are you telling me that you are refusing to worship God right now because you don't like this church? Like, I think that's stupid. Worship him. You don't have to worship him through the lyrics themselves. Now, we'll admit, and this is why things get so finicky with scripture, because people end up getting so caught up in the weeds of these kinds of things. Oh, shoot, I just lost my train of thought. Stream's going really well. I died 7 times, but it's good because I passed a number I'm glad I passed. But we're building tree number 6. And then, honestly, I'm half tempted to stay playing Minecraft instead of going back to Elden Ring. We're not having a great Elden Ring session. Either that or I'm going to try... I might run around the DLC and picking up stuff. That is kind of my plan. What? Frick, dude. I lost my train of thought. But, like, I'd have these guys, right, that were on my hall that complain about this. They pull out their Bibles to read it, and it's like, oh, look at me. I'm not listening to these songs. Haha. And I'm like, okay, well, first of all, like, you're literally trying to be holier than thou art, even though, again, Scripture tells us don't do that. And, like, I don't get the philosophy, the ideology behind that. I'm like, granted... Oh, that's right. So, granted, there are songs out there that aren't good. There's the one song in particular I really don't like because I think it focuses more on God's miracles than it does on him. Because it's like, God, we believe for it. And I'm like, okay, well, why are we believing for it, the miracles? Why are we believing for the miracles to happen and not for the miracle maker? And just the rest of the song was kind of like Cosmic Vending Machine sort of vibes, where it's like, move the impassable, break the unbreakable. You know, it's like, it felt very commanding to God. And another thing my dad kind of noticed with songs, and, you know, as me being a linguist, our language does not have the capabilities to encapsulate all of God. So we have these songs that sound this way that are hard because we're like, oh, I don't like the way that word sounds. Oh, my frick, dude. My light just died. Can I make this more jank? Let's see here. Gentlemen, give me a second. Give me a second. We're going to jank this up. Gentlemen. It's jank. The setup over here is jank, but it's good. I just plugged in the light because the cord's long enough. If it works, it works. And so it's kind of, yeah, it's kind of crazy. And so we can't encapsulate all of God with our language within songs. So some songs are just going to naturally sound off because it sounds like one thing, but obviously we don't really know what the songwriter was intending necessarily. And of course, there's the intent of the songwriter and the intent of the worshiper. Which intent is stronger? And that's why I think it's kind of like sometimes I think some songs are more obvious than others what the singer's intent was, and I think those are the ones you need to avoid. But I'm not personally going to be the one to tell you what songs you should avoid. I just know what songs I want to avoid, and that's where it lies. Toxic Christianity says we're going to decide what songs you should avoid. I stream. I'm always live on Thursdays because I always have the time off. It depends on work. Because I work at Walmart, so I'm not working today, obviously. So I'm streaming. But I'm not always free on Tuesdays, but I'm always free on Thursdays. Thursdays are my day off. I basically say Thursdays are my Sabbath day. They're my not at Walmart day, which I like having because it gives me a day off that I don't have to worry about. And so if ever I want to do something with somebody else, I know I have Thursday all day off. Well, how long have you been streaming, like, in general? I have been streaming, I don't know about that's because I've been on off, but for content creation about, okay, I hate this, but 6 to 7 years, roughly. Because I started when I moved to the United States, and then and that was all of high school, so that was 4 years, and then went to college. I still did it while in college. And that, I'm a senior now, so I'm on my, holy crap, I'm on my 4th year. So yeah, I would have done 3 years. So yeah, about 7 years probably. I've been doing this for a long time, but it's a hobby, so it's kind of a vibe. I enjoy it. I enjoy this. I enjoy yapping about random things because I'm a verbal processor, so it actually is kind of helpful. I ain't gonna lie. To just think out loud. So where you stream, like PC or PS? I stream on PC. So I'm currently playing Java Edition. Though because of the new Microsoft update, I do have Bedrock, but I like the mechanics of Java better. They're just a little smoother, but there's so many gimmicks in Bedrock that are really cool that I wish was in Java. My favorite one is being able to put potions in cauldrons. Like, why can't we do that in Java? It makes so much sense. I kind of wish you actually had to make potions by throwing ingredients into a cauldron instead of a brewing stand. I think that would be so cool. But, that is what it is. I think it'd be cool, but, that it is what it is. I am not a Mojang developer. Oh, nice. Keep up the grind. Appreciate. What do you do besides streaming, like study or job? So I'm currently a film student. So that's kind of my main gig. And I work at Walmart, at least during the summer. I work at my school's law library during the school year. And then yeah, that's pretty much it. So yeah, those are kind of the exterior things. And then I do other, like, I really love rock climbing. That's my favorite sport. I also really love volleyball. So I'm actually going to, eventually going to be ending stream to go play volleyball with some friends. And that's going to be a lot of fun. That's tree number 6. I don't really want to put these little guys on the edge trees. So I'm not going to. We're gonna build a tree deeper in the forest. We're gonna build one back here. Build one like full size, gentlemen. We're not skimping out. We're gonna full size this one. So yeah, we got a lot going on for me. I made a climb using the holds that were already there on the wall. I said it was like a V6 or 7, but it got downgraded to just a 6, which I agree. I didn't think it was that hard. And when I did it with, like, not as juiced, because I made it at the end of my climbing shift. When I did it yesterday, about halfway through, which is when I was like peak strength, because I've already warmed up. It felt more like we have a tag system, so I would say it's a green tag, which is a 5.6, V5, V6. So I definitely think it's more in that range. It's not super crazy. It's mostly on slopers, flat, like basically flat round surfaces. Um, and that's kind of thing. What about you, Sony? What do you do in your spare time? I obviously watch a lot of YouTube. I watch a lot of content. The current person that I've been watching so much of, and you can already tell the influence because I say gentleman all the time now, is Bushy. Not a family-friendly streamer, but entertaining as frick. And so I've been watching a ton of his content, and now I'm like imitating him. I honestly, if I had a spirit person, it'd be Kakashi from Naruto, because Kakashi is the copycat ninja. When I meet people, I like copy them. I like copying people. Oh, you like swimming? One of my friends that has recently joined us in volleyball, his main sport is swimming, and he does swimming and basketball. But I managed to convince him to join us at volleyball, and then he also joins me rock climbing. Well, so he just got into rock climbing this summer, and I normally climb when the wall opens around noon, but that's also because I have the day off. He works 9 to 5, Mondays through Fridays. So he goes after work at 5:30. So I've been joining him on Mondays and Wednesday nights to climb. But his main thing is swimming. So it's funny because he brings his swimmer bag with him. I don't know too much about it. Like all the stuff, but I need to go swimming with him because he's done so many of my sports. I haven't done one of his. I feel kind of bad. But I'm weird. I don't like getting wet. I just genuinely don't like the feeling of being wet. So swimming is not necessarily the most intriguing, but I'd be willing to give it a try. I also don't float well, so that is concerning. I'm mostly made of bone. If you probably do a bone to weight ratio, most of my weight is probably just my skeleton. I believe on average for a male, the skeleton is around like 15 pounds worth of weight. Don't freak out, but I'm only 105. So that's nearly 10% of my weight is just my skeleton. That's kind of crazy. That's kind of a crazy thing to say. 10% of my weight is just my skeleton. Gentlemen, I'm light. I'm very light. Walk around just chilling. Went to grab matcha in my spare time. And also made some digital logos of nature. Ooh. What things did you do, like, nature-wise? Like trees, or are you doing, like, animals? Is this, hand-drawn? I mean, obviously, like, you said digital, so it's graphic, but, like, is it in a hand-drawn graphic style, or, I only really know Canva, like, something like that, where you're taking more, like, images and moving them around. I'm not very well versed in that. That's why I have my other friend help me out with graphic design. I always feel bad for him. He also is not the most, responsive person in the world, so it might take forever to just get his attention, which is I don't wanna take up too much of his time with my stuff. Though I recently asked him to make um, where'd this go? The logo, not the logo, the, poster, that's the word. Poster for my thesis film. Because I used, alright, don't freak out. I know you just said digital logos, which means you probably are an artist. Don't freak out. This is, alright. I had AI help create a general concept art for what I wanted the thing to look like, and then I gave that to my friend, was like, "This is what I'm thinking. Obviously not this, because it did it in a very Stephen King style." Alright, that is tree number 7, and that's not necessarily a style that I wanna go for. That's not the I'm making more of a thriller than I am a Stephen King horror film. It's not a slasher by any means. Not very gory at all. Um, so definitely didn't want the slasher vibes. Um, I don't think he has done anything since, though, since I gave him that, which is fine. Again, he literally he has his own job that he has to worry about. So I gotta give him time. Don't really have the money for graphic design stuff. All right. That is that. I'm going to change this over to that. Bingo. Boom. Gotta change this one now. Bingo. Boom. All right, gentlemen. Loading up Elden Ring. I gotta look something up though, because I love to make golden hours time like sunset. You know. Ooh, I bet those look nice. Nice golden hour sunset vibes. All right, I'm gonna look something up real quick. Without how do I just get yeah, because yeah, I wanna try upgrading the amount of flasks that I have. I got everything in weeping. There's no golden seeds or sacred tears over here. Okay, we did get the Church of Repose. Let's see here. That's ruins. I'm trying to find churches so we can get more. I guess I haven't gone to Mount Gelmir. Oh, I could kill Richard. Yes. Okay, so we did do Church of Vows. How do we get up here? You notice you don't have a custom logo nor offline banner for your channel? I do have a custom logo. What are you talking about? I got the wolf with the cross on it. My graphic design friend made that for me. I do need an upgrade eventually, but that time is not now. Because I do not have the money for it. I think this is a church. I don't know. I don't know where... Gentlemen, I don't know where anything is. I don't know where all the golden seed locations are, or all the sacred tier locations are, and what I have collected. What I haven't. I think this is fine. Can I share my Discord here? I'd rather you didn't. There's no real need for it. You want, you can go to my Discord. I don't know if the link works anymore. You could try it though. What am I doing? Going to DLC. Castle Front. Okay, Castle Front City Grace. Head southeast into the woods and take the left fork in the road. Okay. The left fork. Okay. Head east through the swamp. That wasn't the fork in the road. Hold on, gentlemen. Left fork. Okay, that's the right fork. This is the left. Did I not go here? Or oh my gosh. Just to show my hard work. Yeah, I don't mind if you I have a section in my Discord for that. Do exclamation point Discord. I don't know if it still works though. It might not work. It is hard for me to get out of Elden Ring. Hello, Thalier. I didn't necessarily care. Alright, this one. Ooh. Gentlemen. Oh boy. Okay, give me your Discord. Okay, let me do this. I want to know if this actually works. This might not work. Okay, this does not work. I'm using a new thing. Let's see here. Let me get you all situated. Where's the button again? Shoot, what is the... I always forget. Invite to server. There we go. Copy. All right. Here's the server link. Enjoy. Oop, things are popping off. Ooh. I was bringing Gatorade. Okay. Cool. So, gentlemen. The way to Scadu Altus is unfortunately using Thalier's skip, which I don't know. Because right now the only way through is right here. Is to kill R'Lana, whom we are struggling with. Ooh. Okay. Yeah, might be time. Which one do I have in my main hand? I have... Okay, yeah, we don't have Skin Peeler. Alright. Whichever one has Seppuku's in the main hand. Let's get this back on. So we have Standard does 296, Keen does 255. Probably this. Keep one on blood. You know what, gentlemen? We're gonna fight R'Lana. We have to anyways. We need a remembrance anyways, so we have to kill her. So, I'm just gonna do it. I'm gonna lock in Sony. Oh, wow. Alright, so that's the move I think I'm supposed to unlock and then run around her. I don't mind dying as much to DLC bosses because I don't know them as well. So it doesn't feel as bad because I haven't learned them yet. Alright, well that's one death. That's another tree right there. Thought. Alright. Okay. I am pressing the dodge button. I am literally running backwards and spamming the dodge button and it's not doing anything. That's really annoying. What's annoying is not progressing. It doesn't feel like I'm making progress. No, I don't have anything. Wanted to see if I couldn't level up a little bit. I might just need to kill bosses and try to level up. Because I would really like more damage. if possible. I don't know what bosses to kill. Shoot. I mean, again, like we have Bellarat if we wanted to run through Bellarat. I think I'd have an easier time with Divine Beast. All right, let's try it. At this point, is really the only option. Other than that, I guess we do have Richard. All right, we're gonna try to get to Divine Beast and hopefully not die on the way. If we do die on the way, that's gonna be really rough. It's gonna suck. Because then we have more trees to build. I'm gonna try Divine Beast maybe once or twice. We'll see how well it goes if I just die immediately. Like, me trying to fight him and I do nothing. If it's, like, an instant death kind of moment, we'll just kind of leave it at be. Right. You know, those guys look scary, but they ain't that bad. This isn't, Nope. Alright, that wasn't important. Alright, those guys did not do as much damage as I thought. Granted, I think this is one of the lower scaled areas. I don't know scaling, like, off the top of my head, so I don't know. Oh, I knew you were there. Bruh. This doesn't go anywhere. Alright, gotta lock in. Because I gotta remember where the frick I'm going. It's up here. I think I'm supposed to go up here. I don't remember. Okay. That's good. Graces are good. Graces are good. Oh. Hey. Is this anything important? Not really. Important. That's a revered spirit, Ash. We don't care about that. Oh, brother. Ah, oh, jeez, I'm gonna die. What the heck? I was so close, dude. I hate this guy so much. I knew I would die right here, because what the frick am I supposed to do about that? I do, like... Oh, frick. I do, like, no damage. Literally no damage. And I take a lot of damage. Anyways, 3 trees just because of that. We could summon. I'm not gonna do that. Alright, my favorite music in the game, gentlemen. Right here. Alright, good start. Good start. Amazing start, gentlemen. Not even a single attack off. That's good. That's good. This is great. Let's try that again. And hopefully not do that. There's nothing I could do. I didn't know the moves. I didn't know when it was safe to heal. I was trying my hardest. Alright. I tried. Alright. Didn't dodge. Alright. That it. That it. Alright, I don't know how to dodge that without... Alright. Did not know you were doing that. Lightning. I don't know what's going on. I literally have no idea what's going on. No, not the wind. I was trying to heal. I hate the wind. Why does he always do wind? I swear I never get the frozen one. So close. So close, but yet so far away, man. I don't know what are active hitboxes and which ones are not active hitboxes. Alright, so that's an active hitbox. Alright, I don't know why I jumped during that. You see how I jumped right into the attacks? All 3 times. Like, I literally, on that last one, I jumped into the hitbox. That's 5 trees already. I'm gonna die one more time. Just to make it so that we're at 65 trees. I don't like that. Oh, so that's a double hit. Oh, wow, that... Okay. I have no idea what direction you're turning. Ah! Oh, it's so annoying. Because I'm pressing X. I'm trying to heal. Because I have no idea what move is coming next. So I don't even know how to dodge it. So I'm just trying to heal. But the healing is too slow. Oh, that's so annoying. Alright, so we're at... We have 6 more trees to build. This is the problem. This is just how this boss fight goes for me. I get all the way down to that much health, and then I always die. Because I have no idea how to dodge any of the wind moves. They all seem like they have huge hitboxes. I think I'm literally playing more Minecraft than I am Elden Ring in these streams, because I just die 6 times in a row, and then that's it. And if I'm running, I'm not dying. Alright, well, we're gonna build 6 more trees. And then we'll probably end. Because I'm getting far too frustrated. It's getting really friggin' annoying. I haven't killed a single thing. Oh, and you know what? You know what's even more annoying, gentlemen? You wanna know what's even more annoying? I don't have enough leaves to build 6 trees. So now I've gotta get more leaves. Because I had, like, several shulker boxes where this is maybe 2 trees at most. We're gonna do 1 tree off of the last one that we built. We might be able to do it. Who's this guy, right? Yeah. So we built this guy last. We're gonna put one of these here. This is gonna be tree number 1 right here. Look at that. Absolutely glorious. I hope I have enough to finish the thing. I am 1 short. Very nice. Very, very nice. That makes me so happy. You have no idea. Because now I gotta stop and go back. Welcome in, Lily. How you doing? How you doing? Where am I? Do I have... Sure I'm not standing on it. Let's see. Why can't I... Oh! That's a good point. Thank you for that. It's because I had the wrong settings on. I was in the Elden Ring portion of the stream. But now I am in the Minecraft portion of the stream. Should be fixed now. Might take a little bit. Alright, let's put this last guy in here. Boom. Tree number 1. Alright, good. Glad we got that all fixed. Alright, this is now we're getting back into, like, dense forests, so... I'm gonna probably put one... right here. Right here, we're gonna put 1 more tree. Alright, brother. Actually, I might not end stream. I might just play Minecraft for the rest of stream, because I really want to work on the stuff over there, and I don't necessarily want to end if I don't have to. Especially if I'm probably going to just play Minecraft afterwards. So I might as well just keep going in Minecraft. The Elden Ring is not jiving today. We are struggling to play Elden Ring. It's not going well for us. I think I may have finally... I mean, I might be at like 90 hours now into Elden Ring. Don't know if I've crossed the 100 threshold quite just yet, but... So... We're just not there yet, you know? What'd you get up to today, Lily? I have been dying to bosses all day today. That's basically been my day. It has been a rough stream in terms of bosses. This forest is probably going to get built before I beat Elden Ring, if I'm being honest. I'm not driving with the jump attack build. I have a multi-hit build going for me. So a part of me is actually kind of tempted to choose a different weapon that also has multi-hit and do an actual bleed multi-hit build. Because maybe we'll have an easier time with that, you know? Maybe that's the strat right there. That's how you want it. But yeah, I don't know. The issue I have with this jump attack build is the jump attacks are just really slow, and jumping, like, the nice thing about jump attacks is there are certain moves that bosses do that are jumpable, like you can just jump over the attack, and therefore, like, that's a huge punish. You gain the extra punish. And maybe it's just me needing to not jump attack every time and not do that, but I feel like the build is built for that, so it feels weird not to use it, because then it's just super weak. I tell you what, I don't think I'm gonna do, if I do another challenge in Elden Ring, I don't know, every time I die, challenges are gonna be really rough. They're a rough existence for me right now. I feel like that's a more interesting existence when you're good at the game, and you're not gonna die as often, so when you die, it actually, like, is meaningful. Whereas, in this video, it's gonna be, like, obvious I'm gonna die a whole bunch of times. And I am. We're at 75 deaths. Yeah, 75 deaths. Already. Not today, don't worry. That's over the course of all of the streams that I have done. We have had 75 deaths. And now I'm at a point where I need to get stronger, but the only way to get stronger is to beat a boss. But I'm not good enough at the game to do that. So I'm just kind of stuck in a loop where I'm not quite strong enough to withstand the bosses or do enough damage to kill them before they kill me. Which is unfortunate. I don't really, other than Moore's armor, I don't know what other armor I can get that's better. Again, I have to kill Rolana to even access the rest of the DLC, and she's one of the hardest bosses in the entire game. Like, we have 2 remembrances that we can kill in the DLC, which is Divine Dancing Beast, which doesn't get us anywhere, other than we need to kill him for the storyline anyways. But it doesn't actually get us anywhere, because we can't get to Enter Elam. From that. And then, of course, Rolana, which opens up literally the rest of the DLC after Rolana. So, our options right now in base game are Malekith, Implicit Sax, who we've already died to more times than I'd like to die to. I didn't expect Plassie to be as hard, but I guess he was. I'm just really not jiving with the jump attack build. It's not tickling my brain as it used to. Like, it was good on some bosses, but on these guys, it's not working out for me, and I don't like it anymore. It's kind of rough. I feel more knocked down than I do anything else. I don't know if it's the play. It might just not be the play. I don't know. I don't know what would be good to pivot into. I mean, we could probably just do, like, one pole blade. Do something like that. One twin blade, sorry. Not pole blade. That might be the strat. No, get out of my face. Okay. Tree number 2. And I think by extension, tree number 3. If I can get on top of this fence. Alright. That's very nice. Very nice indeed. Okay. That's 3 trees that we built. Because if I switch back over to Elden Ring again, the only other boss that we really have as a viable option, is Richard. Like, there just genuinely isn't another option that would be in the bag. I think we could probably kill Richard without dying. Richard's not that hard of a boss fight. It's just, you might, like, if you get caught in the wrong spot, you'd probably die. I'm not gonna lie, I'm probably just gonna walk up in the fire and jump attack the guy, because that's what my build is. Even, he has the Serpent Hunter. We could use it. Don't get me wrong. We could use it. But, gentlemen, we don't need it. I think Richard is actually really easy if you don't use Serpent Hunter. And you just walk into the fire and you smack the guy. That's just what I think. Is it true? I don't know. I feel like I did pretty well the last time I fought Richard like that. Maybe I'm just misremembering it, but that might be misremembering it. But nonetheless, I think that's cool. I also had a cool idea for a video series with Elden Ring, is trying to beat Elden Ring with every weapon. But here's the caveat. We're trying to figure out what the best weapon for me in the game is. What would be my best weapon? Right? Out of all weapons. It is kind of a deathless run, because we're not going to count any deaths. However, we won't count deaths to enemies or fall damage or anything like that. So it alleviates the stakes of that. What we will count are deaths to bosses. Is what I'm thinking. And I think to make it a little bit more feasible, because as we've seen, a lot of times I'll get into a boss room and I'll literally die instantaneously without even attacking. So I don't even get to try a weapon. It's just me being bad at the game. Right? And I don't think that's necessarily going to be entertaining if I just walk into Margit and just die immediately. So what I'm thinking, to make it a little bit more interesting and help the challenge survive just slightly longer, is the scaling value of the arena that I'm fighting in is how many tries I get at a boss. So if the scaling is like 8, I get 8 tries. If I die 8 times, I die, and that's the end of the run. And that is the ranking of the weapon, is basically how many bosses am I able to kill with this weapon. Now, it's not on all bosses, so I'm not trying to kill all 207. Not necessarily. I guess I could, I just think that would take way too long to kill all 207 bosses with one weapon. To see how many bosses I can kill with that weapon. Personally, I don't think that's interesting. I think it just would take too long. I think I would get bored too quickly. But it's going to be just the main game. So, though if we do all remembrances, that could be good. Because basically, any run that gets, like, the furthest run we'll probably have is Radahn or Bale. And it's just whichever one we choose is probably going to be whichever one we die to. Though we will get a lot of chances with, like, Radahn is 33. That's his scaling value. So we do have the benefit of the doubt of high scaling areas do yield more opportunity for success because we get more attempts, but at the cost of it being high scaled. And we're allowed to do as much setup as we want as well. We're not, just saying, okay, you get the weapon. I will probably put a cheat engine of some kind into the game so I can get the weapon first thing. That's only if the weapon is that's only if the weapon is in an area that I can't obtain. Like, for example, it's a DLC weapon. Yeah, I can't get the weapon outside of the DLC. And that means I'd have to basically do the entire first half of the challenge with a different weapon until I can get the weapon. That's tree number 4. We have to build 6 of these. This is number 5. I literally don't have enough leaves to build a tree, the next tree. I don't have enough leaves. So here's what I'm going to do. It's going to be interesting. Not really. We're going to put one here. This is tree number 6, gentlemen. Look at that. Tree number 6. I actually think it will look kind of cool right in here. Because it's already clumped. Very nice. Gentlemen, we're actually running out of space. Believe it or not. The forest is actually growing to quite the size that I'm running out of space over here. Now, I am realizing this is a monotone forest. This is one tree type. I don't know how to build any other tree types. I learned how to build this one tree design by B-Dubs. His tree is still somewhere in the mix. You can spot it if you really look for it. It's got the azalea tips. I think you have to be like over here to spot it. Yeah, it's that one right there. This is B-Dubs' tree. It's got the azalea. It's got the spruce in it. And all that good jazz. That's B-Dubs' tree. All the rest of them are the ones I have built. Again, his design. But I built it. I don't really want to go out and get more leaves, gentlemen. Instead, I want to build a, that's what I want. I want to build a garage. I don't want to play Elden Ring anymore. I genuinely don't. I don't want to die one more time to some boss. So we're going to work on the project that I'm currently working on, which is this giant behemoth. And we're going to build this thing up. Alright? I'm so excited for the slabs, the wool slabs, because we get to replace these with actual slabs that are made of wool. Which is really nice. One thing I will do, though, is change this to 75. I'm also going to do it to the other one. So it's going to be black for a little while until we get boom. Alright. Let me go back to Minecraft. Alright. That's that guy. Just put that over here. Alright. So now you're going to bear witness to how I built this. Alright. We're gonna do it in sections. So we're gonna... I think sectioning off things is the best way to go about it, alright? So we're gonna do that. I don't want to build no more trees. Tired of it. Tired of the trees. Okay, gentlemen. We use aid. That's how we're gonna do this, right? So you're gonna stand here, we're gonna stare at this, right? We're gonna punch. Line ourselves up. And we hit 5. Aim lock. Boom. 1. Fast right click. Boom. Speed. This is what I like using mods for in the game. Just to speed up tasks like these. Because it's not that fun placing these all by hand. It's pretty darn fast. It does make mistakes. There are holes. But it's pretty darn clean with it. Pretty darn clean with it. I ain't complaining. Yeah, you wouldn't believe it, but this whole thing that we're building right now is around 3 shulker boxes of stone. So the building to your left, we're digging underneath it. Granted, I want to use that space later, so having it empty is good. But we're digging it out because I need stone to build this parking garage because I'm running out of stone. So that's kind of crazy. People are going to come into the stream because I think I have it set to Elden Ring right now. And they're going to be like, what the frick, this is an Elden Ring. And I'm like, yeah, I got tired of Elden Ring. That counter was in the 60s when we started. That's deaths right there. Every tree is a death. And if we're in Minecraft, that means 75 deaths. Almost 100. The question is, how many remembrances? So we have 75 deaths for 8 remembrance bosses. Okay. Now, granted, some bosses we didn't die to. I don't think we died to Godric. I don't remember dying to Godric. Did I die to Godric? I don't know. I might have. I don't think I did, though. I didn't die to deer. That's for sure. I definitely didn't die to deer. Or I guess moose. Oh, man. That's unfortunate. I thought I would have enough. But as you can see, it's kind of messy. It's not a foolproof system, like... It's gonna make mistakes, but that's good. We can fill the rest in my hand. Because doing what we just did beats doing this. That just takes forever. And that's not really the interesting part of the build, either. Like, I have a lot of these things to make this part of the building process much more manageable and faster. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm still a fast builder. Like, I don't need the mods to be fast. They just help make it faster, because I don't... Like, building this up, I used basically the same technique. Fast right-click, and then you just walk. Because fast right-click on. It's quite... Fast right-click is really nice. Tweakaroo, gentlemen. Tweakaroo is absolutely amazing. Free cam, love that thing. Okay, dudes, free cam as a superpower would be really cool. What do I mean by that? Like, imagine if you could do this. Like, okay, I want a free cam. Like, that's cool. And it's already got its limitations. Like, you can only go at so far, right? You don't have an infinite distance to be able to go in free cam. Right? So you can only go around yourself. Your body is completely unattended, so anyone could theoretically walk up to you and kill you. That's pretty cool. So yeah, I think that would be pretty cool. You know what I mean? A free cam in real life. Because then you could, I mean, the amount of times I want to see something and I'm like, man, I wish I had free cam. I wish I could just see. Really nice. But alas, I don't. This is meditative. This is helping me quell my anger. My Elden Ring anger. Gotta love Elden Ring, though. Don't get me wrong. Top 10 game for me. I think it goes, I think my ranking would go Minecraft number 1. Satisfactory number 2. Freaking love Satisfactory. Alright, we can do that. And fill in the rest more manually. Whoa. Elden Ring number 3. Honestly, Mecha Chameleon or Mecha Chameleon is getting up there. Mecha. It is Mecha, by the way. Fun fact. It's a Japanese word. Which means super. Learned that recently. Anyways, I think that's number 4. Super Smash Bros. Number 5. Breath of the Wild number 6. Roblox number 7. I'm like half kidding, but I can't think of another game that I do enjoy playing, like a video game. No, Mario Party number 7. Yeah, that's a better pick for number 7. Mario Party. I think that's a good option. What other game do I played that I enjoyed? Because I've learned that there's so many games out there. I have a lot of games. Most of the games I own, sadly, I don't enjoy. I don't enjoy playing. The only games I have enjoyed playing are games that I have watched other people play first and then have decided to get it. Minecraft, I grew up watching Minecraft videos before I ever got the game, and that's why I wanted the game so badly, is because I've watched other people play it. So I knew how to play before I even got the game, because I had watched people play. And then Satisfactory, I was watching a live streamer, and that game got me to follow said live streamer, and then I got the game because they made it look so much fun, and it is. As I said, it is my second favorite game. I don't play it that much, because I always get stuck at the same spot, but it always scratches that itch every time, which is very nice. So I like that, and, like, I want to play it more. Again, I always get stuck in the same spot. So I need to not get stuck in that spot, where it's, like, tier 3, 4, I think. It's either that or 5 or 6. Whenever trains come into play is when I get stuck. I've never made it as far to get the trains, because I end up, like, my factors are just too inefficient every time, and I can't get resources fast enough. And then I end up spending more of my time AFK, and I need to build factories that are fast enough so I don't have to AFK. But I don't have the game knowledge for that yet. Oh my gosh, Bloons Tower Defense. No, bro, that's like, let's see, 1 is Minecraft, 2 is Satisfactory, 3, Elden Ring, 4, Mecha Chameleon, 5... Smash. No, I like Smash Bros. Super Smash Bros. Breath of the Wild, 6. So then 7 would be Bloons. 8 would be... What was originally in 7? Mario Party. So 8 is Mario Party. 9. Oh, Last of Us. Last of Us I'll put at 9. I've played that quite a bit. I go back to it every once in a while. It's enjoyable when I do go back to it. Cannot deny. Cannot deny that it is, in fact, enjoyable. 10, Roblox. I'm actually being serious with that one. I can't think of another game. It feels weird putting it there, but I mean, I always have a good time when I play Roblox. I'm a little too old for it. Oh my gosh! Hold up. The scale just changed. Everything just changed. 1, Minecraft. 2, Blade and Sorcery VR game. 3, Satisfactory. 4, Elden Ring. 5, Mecha Chameleon. 6, Breath of the Wild. 7, Super Smash Bros. 8, Bloons Tower Defense 6. 9, Mario Party. 10, what was originally 9? Shoot, I don't remember what was originally. I don't remember. No, oh no, I don't remember. What did I originally say? It was Minecraft, Blade and Sorcery. Really like Blade and Sorcery. That's a fun game. Because I'm going to be real. There are a lot of games that I have watched people play. Or there's a lot of games that I have that I have not watched people play and I have not enjoyed. And I don't think there's a single game that I have ever just gotten that I have enjoyed that I have not watched somebody first play it to get me to originally enjoy the game. Because, like, Enshrouded, I knew it existed. But I didn't enjoy it. Oh my god, Phasmophobia? Gentlemen. Oh, Phasmophobia is up there. I haven't played it in a while, but it's up there. 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Should be every 9th block, right? Yep. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And this one doesn't matter. It just follows. And this one does. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, that's not right. So, 1, Minecraft. 2, Blade and Sorcery. 3, Satisfactory. 4, Mecha Chameleon. 5, Breath of the Wild. 6, no, 5, Super Smash Bros. 6, Breath of the Wild. 7, Phasmophobia. 8, Bloons Tower Defense. 9, Civ 6. I forgot about that one as well. Do I actually have? Oh, I do. Okay. No, I do. We're good. And then 10 is Mario Party. I think that's a pretty chill scale. I think that's a fine scale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, gentlemen, so here's where things get really weird. And maybe what we do to fix it is we literally just shave this off. Because, of course, we have this going on. Mm. No. I think the strat is just to double up on it. Because I want windows to be on this backside. I want windows to surround the whole thing. We're now above the ground, so it makes sense for us to have the openings. Yeah, basically, it's going to look like this all the way around. I think that makes the most sense for the parking garage. And that, my friends, is what we will do, because I'm the one who's building the thing. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And it's 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Or is it? Oh no. Just that. Okay. Very good, very good. Alright. Alright. Yeah, at a certain point, the forest is going to be done. And that's going to end the video. The video ends when the forest is built. That's actually the end goal. It isn't beating Elden Ring. The end goal is building the forest. Beating Elden Ring is just a side product. So it's whichever one happens first. But at the rate I'm going, it looks like the forest is probably going to happen first. Probably. This doesn't make sense. Ah. This row doesn't exist. That's why it's all weird. This row doesn't supposed to exist. And that row is also not supposed to exist. But it looks weird. That's why it looks weird. Oh, and I just freaking made all of these. Right. These are not supposed to exist. Nope. Nope. Alright, well. So, a few of the other games. So, like, I got Red Dead Redemption, because I heard that was a good game. I just knew people liked it. Don't enjoy it. I got stuck, I got lost. I didn't know where to go. And then, basically, I got to the main campsite. Like, way beginning of the game, you get to the campsite that you're at. And then I wanted to ride my horse to go to the town so I could collect money for the debts from the one quest, and it literally would not allow me to ride my horse. It did not prompt, like, when I went to the horse to do it as a tutorial taught me to ride the horse, the button to ride horse was not there, and I didn't know why, and I didn't know what I was supposed to do to get there. I talked to all the NPCs that were there, and nothing worked. I got stuck, so I stopped playing, because I got bored, because I didn't know what to do. You know what? Actually, I can think of a game that I have played that I have enjoyed that I did not watch somebody first play it beforehand, and that was Portal. I never watched anyone play Portal before. I just knew it existed, and I knew it was a good game. And of course, the portal gun and all that. And I enjoyed it. I played the second one first, and then I got the first one. And they were both very good. Yeah. And Shrouded was another one that was gaining in popularity. I played it. It was overwhelming because there were a lot of quests that just kept popping up. And every NPC you talk to basically gives you a quest. And so I ended up just having so many quests going on that I couldn't pick a quest to go on. I didn't know what to do. It was too much. That's the problem. That's why I usually don't like open world games. because it's usually too much, but I like games that are open world enough that you can choose whatever path you want to go down, but you can choose any path you go down, but it still has enough of a quest line to allow you. So basically, it's not open world where you can do anything. It's open world, but you can do any of the quests that are currently available, or any of the quest lines, I should specify. So like Elden Ring, you have the general bosses. There are certain bosses that are unavoidable. You have to kill to progress the game. However, there are many avenues that you can go down beforehand. And that's what I like about the game, because it's like, okay, well, I can start the game. I can kill Godric, which makes the most sense. The easiest boss, by far out of all your options. But if I wanted to do more of a challenge, you have, I could, you need 2 Great Runes to get into Leyndell. There are 4 bosses that you can kill. 4 bosses that you can kill that can give you a Great Rune. You can kill, 5 bosses, actually. There are 5 bosses you could kill to get the 2 Great Runes required. You can kill Godric, Rennala, Radahn. Those are usually the 2 people go for. Most people will kill Radahn. You could also kill Richard, though. You can kill Richard because there's a way to get to him. There are multiple ways you can get to Richard. So you can actually kill him for the 2nd Great Rune. But here's the 5th boss. You could kill Mohg to get there. The only 2 bosses that you can't kill, there's 7 Great Runes. The only 2 you can't do is Malenia and Morgott, because Morgott's in Leyndell, and Malenia, you have to get the rolled medallion. Well, you have to get to the rolled lift, and then you have to get the Haligtree medallion, which is half of it's in Mountaintops. But Mohg, you can do Vare's quest, which will give you the medallion, which will take you to Mohgwyn, and you can kill Mohg before going to Leyndell. I mean, because it's either that or you go the consecrated route, but you don't have to go the consecrated route. So, bingo bango. Look at that. That's pretty cool. Yeah. And then the same goes for Breath of the Wild, and Tears of the Kingdom as extension, but more Breath of the Wild. Because in Breath of the Wild, you have the 4 divine beasts that you can kill, or you can literally go straight to Ganon. Like, you have that option to go straight to the end boss. But whichever 4 divine beasts you decide to do, doesn't matter. You can do any 4 of them in any order you see fit. But those options are still there. Because the nice thing is like, I think the benefit is with these open world games is they separate side quests from main quests very well. So it's very obvious what's a side quest, and it usually goes into a different category, and it's very obvious what is a main quest. Main quest line items in Breath of the Wild are killing the main 4 bosses, and going to the main areas and doing all of that thing, doing all the checks. In Elden Ring, it's still killing the main bosses, but then you also have all the side quest lines that you can do for NPCs and whatnot. Which is pretty cool. Alright, we need to create the next ramp for the next layer. Or at least figure out the placement of such. So I believe we discussed with this, to get this to go up, it was on 1, 2, 3. So, yeah. I believe we want it to start on this guy. Yeah. We're about to find out. So I believe we want it to be here. So this is the bottom layer. That's the layer we're trying to get to. Alright. Perfect. Alright. Perfect. Okay, gentlemen. That was pretty easy. Oh dear. Look at that. So that's the next ramp to the what I think will probably be the final layer. Hello, llamas. And presumably guy with llamas. So you'll go around, and you can either turn onto this. This is where things are going to get really, really interesting. Because you're going to drive up on the right side. You're going to come in this side. So obviously, we're going to take them to the right. And they'll have the option to go to the right even more. So I guess this is where things get really weird. So I guess it's going to be you can't actually enter in this way. So it's actually going to be all the way around. You're going to wrap around. And you can either go straight or you can take the right to go up. And then when you come down the ramp, you'll just have to go to the right and merge on here. That makes the most sense for positioning. I like that. Don't worry that we will add more detail to this parking garage. I just want to get these finer details of the garage done. So this is either going to go, what I'm thinking, right, we'll have this layer, which will go all the way up to this. I'm thinking this could probably be the roof, because that's 1, 2, 3, and then 4. The fourth layer being just the top of the thing. I think that's probably going to be good for height. I feel like that's a pretty big parking garage. If you ask me, that feels pretty big. But we could obviously go up another level. We could totally go up another level. I just don't know how necessary it would be to go up another level. But it might. Who knows, gentlemen? Who knows? The possibilities are endless here. Gentlemen. Oh, you know what I gotta do, actually? What I don't want to do, but probably should start doing now so it's less work later, is start editing this video itself. Though I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna end the recording, because I'm not gonna play Elden Ring anymore, and I'm not building any more trees. We're focusing on a different project that has nothing to do with our run. If I decide I want to play Elden Ring, we can switch over. But as of right now, I have no intent to do that. Oh. That's probably good. So we can end the recording. We don't need it to be on anymore. Which is very, very good. Oh no. Off by a block. That's okay. That's it. That's an easy fix. That's an easy fix. See? That was easy. Not off by a block on any of these other ones. Good, 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 good. 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 That is good. That's a quote, by the way. I quote it a lot, because every time I say it good, I just think of it. It's from One Punch Man. One of the villains says it. Trust. There's a very big, beautiful parking garage. And I do have ideas for what to do on the inside. I have looked up parking garages as a reference, don't you worry. I have, in fact, done that. It's very good. That's what's important, is that we do that. But yeah, I need to start editing this video. And start getting that that done. Interesting. I'm getting notifications. Lots of them. It's concerning. Okay. So now we probably can start building up this infrastructure. It doesn't really matter. I'm just doing this now since I'm up here. We actually probably want to put in the lights first. This doesn't matter. This infrastructure doesn't matter. Like where we're going to put stuff and getting these up to par. Hey. 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 There we go. Very good. So yeah, we're gonna put all of this away. All of these are empty shulker boxes. Now it is time. Ooh, I have none of these left. This is not good. We don't need those yet. Let's check the farm to see if I have any of these left in the farm, but I probably don't. By the way, I want to build a new one of these, but actually in my base. I built it over here because this was going to be the industrial district, but now our current base is going to be the industrial district in general. Oh, gentlemen, I am so happy. I've got plenty. I have so many shroom lights. So many very shroom lights. I didn't want to have to dip into the small amount of frog lights that I had, because I don't have a frog light. Alright, some of those trees don't look as good from the ground, but it's fine. Or from the sky. But it's fine. That's perfectly fine. Alright. So, gentlemen. This is going to go to the right. So, I lied. We are going to need this. Because I want this block to be that. Turn on this. This is going to tell me where the light levels are. Yeah, we want to be closer to this side. So we want 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, it's even on both sides. So we probably want to be on this side. Sorry, because this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 to that. That's actually where we want to be. Because we will have lights in the spots themselves. So we don't need them on here. So this is where we're going to do... This is where things get kind of weird. It's going to be like this. And like that. Right. I should have the other things with me. Just so I don't run into this problem. So yeah, so you can either go straight or right. Very good. All of that's going to be covered up. In fact, we can just do that right now. So we know we're going to cover that up. Yep. We do need this because this is going to be covered, so. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Really doesn't matter. Right. So. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. I'm stupid. Because you drive up on the right side, right? Is the left side. This is where you come down. Right? Yeah, because they're going to drive down on the right. Right? Yeah. Because it's down on the right. So if we face this way, it's going to be down this way. They're going to be coming down this side. So they're going to be merging onto this. They're coming down this side. Wait, what? Brain's not braining, gentlemen. Let's see, because it's driving on the right side. So you're driving on the right side. Oh, that's not lined up. Oh, gentlemen, that's not lined up. Okay, it's just these. That's fine. We can move those over by a block. Right, so you're driving on the right side of the roads. So if you turn here, you will be on the left. So the up is actually whoa. So the up is actually right here. So going up is actually here. And coming down. Yeah, so if you're coming down, actually the other way around. So you come down on the right, and then you turn in with the traffic, and you just go around in a circle. And then you come up, you drive all the way around, and you come to the right. Right. And this is, I think, actually too long. Right? Yeah. I don't think that one's supposed to be, because it's 3. Very good. All right. We figured it out, gentlemen. We figured it out. That was a little complicated, but we got there in the end. Okay. So now to continue down the path. That's not right. Also, one of the things that I want to build a farm for, which I'm actually going to build across from here, which is funny that I haven't built it yet, is a wool farm, because I'm using a lot of wool. So we want this to be that. Hmm. Oh, we're getting lag. Rubber banding. Why is that so off? That's 1, 2, 3. Maybe we just don't need that. Maybe that's the answer. We just don't need another arrow there. Because obviously you're either gonna go straight again to go around in the loop, or you're gonna go down. There's obviously not gonna be parking spots along here. I don't like that either, though. So I guess we're just gonna do it this way, because this is what's gonna look, I think, the best. Because that's gonna match. I mean, yeah. It does. Alright. I'll see how I feel about it, how I'm driving later. As I may end up deciding I don't drive. How did I do it? Oh, no. Right, we don't need to do that. We can just do this. For Gore. We can just have, this be parking spots. 2, 3, 4. And now, we just plop in all of the parking spots. The nice thing is, wherever it says 4 is, usually... Ironically, where I need to put it every time. This is probably going to turn into a, into the staircase, but for right now, we're just going to put this here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just because I don't know what else to do with the area. But I think it looks good. And then this spot is just a little bit bigger. Oh, no, that was... Same with this. This will also be a, it's also be a thing. thing, whatever I said was supposed to be for the other side staircase. Okay, that's all the parking spots. Um, and if I'm not mistaken, all of the ground we're not worrying about up there is spawn proof. Very good. Whoops. Very, very good. Very good. Those are empty. Okay, let's fill in the walls here. So this is where the fast right click comes in handy, because I can just do this. Now, that's where it kind of falls off a little bit. That's only so good, but that still speeds up the process so much. It's very, very nice. And then the other nice thing is if it's only 2 blocks, you can just straight up run. Yeah, we don't need to go all the way. Forgot to, put in this. That's what I wanted to, that's what I was waiting to come across, was this. Or we can leave that there, that's fine. Might as well, while I'm here, do this. It's gonna make my life a whole lot easier. What the? Look at that. Now I don't have to worry about getting this under part as difficultly. Alright, bingo bango. Very nice. Because now that's the inside of that. Very, very nice. I think we'll end it there. Because I'm going to be leaving in about 30 to 45. And I'd like a snack. So we're gonna end stream there. I'll probably play later. Let's see if anyone's live. How about that? Whomst is live that we would like to raid. Honestly, I don't think I've raided this guy in a while. I don't think he's been live at the same time, but we're gonna raid this guy. We're gonna raid the real Mr. Gold. So I gotta open up Twitch chat slash raid if I don't fat finger. All right, and then we want to do bingo and Papo. Please get on my face. Boom. And that'll be all.